Hey everyone, welcome to my How to Set Up video series where I show you how to set up all of my favorite effects to use with the Iwi in live performances. As always, this doesn't need to be limited to Iwi players. These effects can be used by any singer or instrumentalist as well. This video will be all about the tremolo effect. Here's an example of this effect in action. As you can hear, the sound of my Iwi is being silenced at a varying rate, giving it sort of a choppy, glitchy effect. I have this mapped to the roll function on my Wii remote, but you could easily set this up with a pedal or knob as long as it's MIDI compatible. When this effect is triggered at a high rate, I think it sounds like the Iwi equivalent to growling on a saxophone. When the effect is triggered at a lower rate, it kind of reminds me of machinery or appliances or some weird arrhythmic robotic language. So to use this effect in Mainstage, go to the channel that you want to use this effect with, go down to the audio effects box, select modulation, and then tremolo. This plugin comes with a lot of really great presets, but none of them really have that aggressively choppy effect that I'm going for, so we're going to have to mess around with these parameters a little bit. Basically, instead of having these gentle waves in our graphical readout, we're going to try and make some really blocky squares. The first thing that we're going to have to do is go over here to smoothing and turn that all the way down to 0. This means that instead of having a gradual decrease or increase in volume, we're going to have instantaneous changes. Then we're going to turn the depth knob all the way down to 100 if it's not there already. This means that our sound is either going to be at full volume or silence, with nothing in between. Then we'll go to the bottom right corner over here and turn our phase all the way down to 0. This means that both the left and right channels of audio will be affected in exactly the same way. Lastly, we're going to make sure that symmetry over here on the top right is turned down to 50 so that we'll have equal parts sound and silence. The parameter that we're interested in controlling is going to be the rate of our tremolo. If this knob is perfectly centered, then the sound is going to pass through unaffected. If we turn it to the right, then our tremolo will be measured in hertz, and if we turn it to the left, it will be measured in subdivisions related to the tempo of our concert. I usually prefer this option since it's a little bit more rhythmic, especially since I have a tap tempo function connected to one of my MIDI controllers. This means that when we map this parameter to our MIDI controller, we should make sure that the range minimum is set to DC, so that the effect is only triggered when we move our knob from the 0 position. Now of course, this gets to be a little bit more complicated if our MIDI controller happens to be a Wiimote. If you're using a Wiimote as a MIDI controller, then you've probably already seen the video that I made where I explained how to use the scale parameter graph to make this work. Here's a link if you need a refresher. That's it for this tutorial video. Please leave a like if you found this to be helpful or interesting, and please subscribe if you want to learn how to set up more effects like this one. Thanks for watching. Until next time.